In the world of One Piece, we know that every admiral has their own sense of justice. Akainu has absolute justice. Kuzan has lazy justice. Kizaru has unclear justice. Green Bull has authoritarian justice. And Fujitora has humane justice. But the most important Marine is the one whose justice we don't have a name for yet. Koby. And that's important because Garp told us Koby is the future of the Marines. And now the question becomes, what kind of justice does the future of the Marines actually represent? Well, I believe every sense of justice is made of two of the three pillars. Pillar number one is morality, your own sense of what's right and wrong. Pillar number two is the law or the mission, your duty as a Marine. And pillar number three is the people, the civilians of the One Piece world. And every sense of justice that I just named touches on two of the three pillars, but never all three. Akainu and Green Bull, authoritarian and absolute justice. These two fall on the pillars of duty and morality. We see this with Akainu during Ohara when he decides to blow up the civilian ship to make sure that none of the scholars are escaping the island. He doesn't care. The people could die if the mission is successful, and that mission is wiping out all of the scholars. We see something similar with Green Bull when he goes to Wano and outright says that he has no problem torturing, killing, slaughtering the people of Wano because they are not part of the world government, meaning that their lives don't matter. With Kizaru, we see that he falls on the pillars of duty and the people. We see that on this mission on Egghead, he allows everyone else to live. So in this situation, we have somebody who will follow through on their orders and will save as many people as he can as long as the mission says so. He doesn't want to kill Vegeta. He doesn't want to fight Sentomaru. It emotionally destroys him that he has to do it, but he follows through because his job tells him to do it. He doesn't hurt anybody outside of the mission. He saves who he can, and he kills whoever the law tells him to. And then the last two are Aokiji and Fujitora. And these two clearly land on the pillars of the people and their own morality. We see this with Aokiji in Ohara when he allows Robin to escape because his moral code says that Robin isn't a bad person. Even though the mission is to kill every scholar, he allows her to live. He chose the person's life because his own morality said so, and he abandoned his mission. We see it again in Long Ring Long Land when he allows Robin to live once again, as well as the Straw Hats, and finally when he decides to leave the Marines because his sense of justice doesn't work with Akainu's sense of justice. And for Fujitora, we see this at the end of Dressrosa when he apologizes to the world and says that Luffy is the one who stopped Doflamingo. Akainu says, "Bring me the head of Straw Hat Luffy," or "Don't return." And his response to that is, "Okay," and we don't see him return to any Marine base. In this situation, saving the people of Dressrosa came first, and his moral code of doing what's right for the world over what the law says. So now that we've defined those pillars and we have an idea of what justice is built on, let's look at where Koby's sense of justice is birthed. And Koby's sense of justice would have to come from his mentor, and that traces back to Garp. Now we know that Garp had a protege before Koby, and that protege is Aokiji. And we could say that Aokiji is a failed prototype of what Koby's gonna be. So let's look at Aokiji's sense of justice. Aokiji is somebody who believes in morality and the people, but we do know that Aokiji is a failed version of what Garp is shooting for. Because when it came to promoting justice in the world, when his justice was pushed, Aokiji left the Marines and he gave up on justice. So we could say that Aokiji is a broken version or an incomplete version of what Garp wanted to see Koby become. So let's go back to Garp again. Let's look at Garp and his sense of justice. Damn it, we don't know Garp's sense of justice, so that's not going to help us. So let's headcanon something really quick. Garp has used one named attack in all of One Piece, and that was Galaxy Impact. Galaxy Impact was massive, wide-reaching, an overwhelming attack. And I believe this reflects Garp's sense of justice, meant to erase threats and save as many people as possible. Maybe like a galactic justice. Well, for Koby, we also have one named attack. That's Koby's Honesty Impact. And when we really break down who Koby is, Koby's defining characteristic, it isn't really strength, it's his honesty or his truth. Now, honesty, truth, true, they all stem from the same idea. It's truth made impact. So when Koby manifests his justice physically, It isn't overwhelming force, it's his truth made impact. So let's say that Kobe's justice is called true justice. Let's look at the 3 pillars when it comes to Kobe. First is the morality pillar. Kobe is always seen doing what he believes to be right. Never put his own moral code behind him for any reason. When Kobe is confronted with being part of the Alvida Pirates by Luffy and the Marines at Shellstown, instead of just lying and saying, I was never part of that crew, or none of that is true, he strikes Luffy and shows he doesn't stand by pirates. He's gonna do what is right. Instead, he's not gonna lie. He's not gonna betray who he is as a person, even if he is friends with a pirate. He's going to uphold the law. His moral code is one of the most important things to him, but that doesn't mean that he gives up on any of the others. When it comes to doing his duty, Kobe does that as well. When he's told that he needs to be at Marineford to stop the Whitebeard pirates, he shows up. When he's tasked with stopping one of his friends, he's fought Luffy on multiple occasions because the job says to. And we've already touched on the people. We've seen it multiple times. He saved the Marines at Marineford. In Marineford, he stands up to Akainu and stops the slaughter. When he hits Amazon Lily, he sacrifices himself to save Boa, to save the Marines, and save the Blackbeard pirates. From Alvida to Marineford to Egghead, Kobe has never abandoned one pillar to support another. He always finds a way to act in accordance with all of these pillars on every situation we've seen him in. And when Kobe eventually reaches the top, when he stands where Akainu stands now, he will also become the law. And with morality, people, and the law all combined, the trinity of pillars is complete. That's why Kobe's justice is true justice. It's not absolute, it's not lazy, it's not unclear. It's a justice that balances morality, the law, and the people. Without sacrificing any of them, Kobe isn't just the future of the Marines. He is the correction, the end of the corruption, and the unification of what justice is. So if for any reason you don't believe that Kobe's justice is true justice, if you have any other ideas, please let me know in the comments. Tell me what I said that's wrong. Let me know if my pillars don't hold up. If you made it this far in the video, you clearly liked it. So give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I know I'm still new and I'm still small, but I'm coming. I promise you, one day I'm gonna reach the top. Thank you for your time. Have a good day and peace.